Welcome to this episode of The Weigh-In, where we talk to content creators, bait makers, and industry insiders. This episode's brought to you by our fine sponsors, Big Al Speed Shine. You can find all their products at BigAlSpeedShine.com. Spray it on, wipe it off, done. Deep gloss, slick finish, big shine. Big Al Speed Shine, slick it up. FCLX. FCLX is a specialized extinguishing agent designed to tackle complex lithium-ion battery fires and conveniently packaged for use in boats, side-by-sides, campers, and homes. Proudly made in the USA, FCLX penetrates the battery during thermal runaway, rapidly cooling the fire and preventing reignition. The FCLX agent interrupts the lithium oxidation process that fuels the fire while neutralizing the harmful gases. Get yours today at FullCircleLithium.com. Now, let's get ready to weigh in. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Monday night episode of The Weigh-In, and we've got our special guest with us, Mr. Eric Larrieu, back after what you said was 8 weeks.
Yeah, about 8 weeks ago.
See, this is how bad of a host I am. This morning I was like, I don't have anybody for the show. I'm gonna get Eric to come on. He hadn't been on yet, and I completely and honestly, it didn't dawn on me till we popped up and you were in the chat with the cow behind you. And I went, crap, I forgot he was on the show.
Yeah, that's my cat. That's my mascot. You know.
Yeah, I was like, he has been on the show, so welcome back. Welcome back.
At least you'll know I always say yes, but
yeah. Well, I mean, again, Danny asked me Saturday. We went up there to that show up there, the little thing up there. What was it? The Veterans Park in Cherokee or Canton. And he's like, "Who's your guest for Monday?" I'm like, "I don't know. I ain't called anybody." The weekend snuck up on me, and I completely forgot. I mean, it was like, I'll find somebody. And
I'll tell you, life is busy here lately, brother. Ooh,
dude, it's wild. I hope, and by the way, happy Father's Day to everybody. Hope everybody had a good Father's Day if you're a dad or, whatever. Hope everybody had a great Father's Day. What'd y'all do for Father's Day?
Man, all we did, we went, I cut my grass. I went, I actually poured baits for half the day because I got some new stuff I'm doing, some jigs and some shaky heads and stuff like that. I got all my lead stuff set up and, I went down there and just fiddled with that and just kind of loafed around. Then we went out to Oxford and went to dinner and went Japanese steakhouse.
Japanese steakhouse.
Just the regular old, just redneck good times, man.
Like
that's
hibachi.
Yeah, we did hibachi. Yeah, we did hibachi.
It's funny you say that because Christy twice this week, Christy's tried to talk me into going and get hibachi, and I'm like, nah, I don't want to eat I don't want to eat surrounded by other people. I just want to be by myself, whatever. And then yesterday I said, why don't we go eat Japanese steakhouse? She's like, that's hibachi, Tony. I was like, I know, I was just messing with you. Because we were trying to find somewhere to eat that we hadn't eaten before.
You should have came with us. We had there was two more spots. We had y'all right there.
Well, let me tell you what I did. This is going to be funny for everybody. So occasionally when we go out, I'll have a drink. I'll have an adult beverage. Well, most of the time it's a beer of whatever choice. Well, yesterday we went to, I ain't gonna lie, we went to Ruby Tuesdays. Whatever, it's fine. It was one of those places we decided to go. And I'm looking at the drink menu and I went, I've never had a Long Island iced tea. Let me tell you something. Them little some guns will sneak up on your butt. Quick.
I went through a Long Island iced tea kick when I was in my early 20s. And man, let me tell you, all that is 7 different liquors with a little bit of Coke for some colors. And you mess around and drink 2. You'll be.
How about 3 in about 15 minutes?
Ooh, yeah.
They were so good.
They're good. They're really good.
They had some kind of lemonade or something. They had some kind of lemonade or something in it, and like you said, the Coke gives it a little color or whatever. But I had never had one before, and I'm like the first one. I mean, and when I drink at a meal, if you ever watch me drink a drink at a meal, I drink everything fast. So I had the straw and it was gone. I was like, I'll take another one, please. And I said, they wasn't nothing but lemon juice. Now, it didn't have nothing in it. By the time she got back with a second one, I couldn't feel my lips. So, yeah.
That's from them sneak up on you drinks right there.
So after 3 of them, I went home and sat on the recliner. And about an hour later, I woke up. Chrissy's like, lightweight. I was like, I don't drink that. I don't drink like that, really. I don't do that anymore. So
I'm bad about going to the beach. Whenever we go to the beach, I'll do it again. We're going for 4th of July. I'm going to do it again. Go to the crab place, and they always got the voodoo buckets. Man, that voodoo bucket will get you tore up.
What's in a voodoo bucket?
It's usually just there's vodka and probably 2 or 3 different kinds of rum, and then pineapple juice and some other fruit juice that covers it all up. About 2 voodoo buckets. If you're not a seasoned professional, you are definitely going to be feeling right.
I am not a seasoned professional when it comes to drinking.
I am not either. I am a lightweight, 100%.
Back in my day, I could do that, but now once I pass 40, I get a couple of beers in. I'm like, I'm done. That's good enough for me. But anyway, enough talking about our drinking habits, because we don't do it often. We got Doug Rice in the chat, Eddie Hudson, Bass Time with Diaz, Nathan Edwards, Coleman. What's up, buddy? Jeff Brazil, what's going on, my friend?
You see my partner down there.
I see that.
You see my partner.
I see that. We're going to talk about it. I want to dig into what the plan, because I've never fished Lanier in the summertime. I'm not real seasoned on Lanier, and I've got John Wilson in the boat with me unless something changes. So I feel the pressure. I've got to get the man on some fish, and I have no clue where to go or what to do with it. So we're going to discuss ideas and options for Lanier comes August 1st.
I have the best plan ever.
What's your plan?
Coleman, where are we going?
Coleman, where are we going?
Plan ever. Yep.
Well, I hope it works out.
You know, that's my guy's place over there. So yeah, man.
Well, just know there's going to be a shadow. I may not be as fast, but by gosh, I'll find
Tony
you.
Gonna throw an air tag in my boat. That's what's gonna happen.
No, I don't want to get banned for life. Y'all see that article today?
Yeah, I saw that come out today. I was like, man, come on.
That came out about a month or so ago. It came up on Bass about a month or so or something like that, and they showed the guy's picture and talked about he was banned. So I kind of had a feeling he was going to get banned for life for sure. And then Coleman says, he said, I have 2 piles we can get about 20 pounds off of.
That's my partner, by grannies. That's what I'm talking about.
I just need the follow-ups behind y'all. I don't need to catch the 20. I just need to put him on some fish.
We only got to catch 3 too. We're gonna go to our piles, get 3, and then we're gonna go take a nap in the truck. We'll see y'all when we get there.
It's only going to what time though?
Yeah, till 12. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time, man. It's for a great cause. I'm super excited to fish it. You know, I've never met John personally, Ben, but I'm super excited to go do it for him and his family. You know, hey John, how are you? I've never met him personally, but man, I'm so excited to go do this for them. I couldn't imagine, you know, like I couldn't even fathom that. Like I actually just found out that I'm fixing to be a grandpa last Thursday. So,
right. You know, congratulations, by the way.
Couldn't even fathom, man.
Yeah, that's it's a terrible situation. I mean, you know, I'm very proud to be able to go and fish, you know, that tournament with John, you know, and fish with him even more. If like I said, if everything works out, he's on my boat like Tony said he was going to be. I look forward to that. I just want to find some fish. Got to find some fish, especially in the summertime on Lanier. I mean,
they in the water.
They're definitely in the water. They're definitely in the water. They
definitely in the water.
There's a lot of water for them to be in is my problem. And if y'all saw me fish with Dowie on freaking Saturday, what day they go out there? Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, it was Saturday.
That was a fight, man. Holy crap,
man! Saturday on Wadowee was probably the toughest day I've seen in a long time on Wadowee. Yeah. It was that post tropical depression kind of super high pressure, just funk.
Yeah,
I was getting terminal followers like crazy. Just everything would follow, nothing would bite. Everything that I found to bite was stuck under the underside of a floating dock.
Yeah.
So it was a tough day.
This says how bad it was for me. So I go out there, and y'all know I run my cameras. I've got 2 or 3 cameras that I run all the time. And I went back looking at my chest cam footage, which I start and stop every time we start and stop the boat, right? I've got one block of 20 minutes in that camera where all my fish were caught. So in 20, you know, when you pulled up over there, I said, hey, y'all can have it. I've caught 6 or 8 right here, but they're all small ones. And that was that. I told you about 15 minutes. It was actually about 20-minute time frame is the whole thing. Every other bit of my footage is nothing but me driving around and throwing at crap. All the fish were in that 1 20-minute block. When I got there daylight and left at 11:30 Alabama time, I think it was. So
when I come down there, when I saw you Saturday, I had already. I mean, we left at dark 30, and
I saw boats come by me over there.
Yeah, and we left at dark 30, but I had been to 6 or 7 of my good spots that usually I can always pull a bass or 2 off of these spots. Some of them I pulled 10 off of, and did not get a sniff, not a bite, not a sniff, not nothing.
Yeah,
was wild.
I've got a question for Coleman in the chat because he's caught 19 on Friday, which obviously that was right around the time that depression was kind of coming through. So he's probably still in the good time. Are you noticing any kind of like, is it hard to catch fish on some places in Lanier, or is it just, they're biting? Because I've seen guys like, oh, they're killing on top water, they're doing this, and where with Dowie, if you find the right spot, they're biting like that, but it's not in all the typical spots. That school you and I were on for Saturday, we had found a week before, me and Mike did, and they just still haven't. Now they got smaller. The week before we were catching 2.5s, now we're catching pound, 1 pound bass, but it was fun. But it just makes me wonder why the difference in different places, like different lakes, what makes such a big difference with it? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Now, I will say that when I got there, they were pulling water. They just started pulling water about 20 minutes before or whatever. And there was a little bit of boat traffic back and forth from the tournament guys. The longer I stayed there, the less boat traffic there was, and the calmer it got. And I think the worse it got, or the smarter the fish got. That seemed to be what happened. They got smart. So
you needed to do the Underwood then.
I thought about it. Here's why I thought about it. You guys fished. I left y'all. I trolled away from y'all, and I went down, fished a couple other spots, scanned all this stuff. I came back an hour or so later. I pulled the boat in, and as soon as I stopped the boat, they started blowing up around the boat. So I thought, okay, we're back on. They're fired back up. I threw everything in the boat. The only time they would blow back up on top water again was when I hit the trolling motor. I hit the trolling motor, and 3 or 4 foot off the boat, they start blowing up again. I've never seen that happen. But like you talk about terminal followers, that's all I had was terminal followers that last hour. And I said, the hell with it. I went home.
It was, man, I could have had a trade. If I could have had a trolling motor with reverse, I think I could have made a fish fall at a mile. Honestly. I've seen some pretty bad terminal followers, but man, those were rough Saturday. I mean, it was everything: spoons, minnows, spinner baits. I did get one smoked spot choker, a small spot choker, but it was a 14-inch largemouth, which that's throwback fodder with Dowie.
Yeah. I had one fish on a minnow down there on near Flat Rock. I had to break out the blue. It was that I can't remember Crossbait Company blue minnow that he makes, the Scopadope minnow, the small one. It was the 3.5-inch deal. I got one that got it all the way back to the boat, and somehow it shook that off. I don't know how it shook the minnow off, but it did. And then the spot choker, I took the spot choker and put that blue minnow on the spot choker, thinking maybe, and I ran it over that spot, and them fish followed it. And then I tied I said, you know what? I hadn't thrown a jigging spoon. I'm talking about needing to get a bite on a jigging spoon, or not a jigging spoon, a flutter spoon. So I tied on the 6-inch nickels. I didn't have the broken glass, though. I tied on the regular chrome one. And them 15 bass all in a convention talking about this thing, looking at it. And it'd pop up between them and flutter. They'd follow it up, follow it down, follow it up, nothing. I
had them everything, like you say, like you like to say all the time, they file charges for assault. They were stalking, aggravated stalking, everything except for assault, actually. Yeah. Everything except for biting that thing.
When I first pulled up over there, I had a bunch that would hit it like it was a fluke. They were hitting it, trying to kill it, but they wouldn't. But then they finally started biting. And like I said, I think if I remember from the video correctly, it was about 7. I think it was 7 fish pretty quick. And I think I caught one more after y'all pulled up, which is on a different block of the video. But yeah, it was stupid. But then
I ended up running up the river. I went up the big river. Big river. And ended up getting on wacky rig on docks, and that was how I caught every fish I caught.
Yeah. Well,
I think my uncle caught 2 on a Texas rig, but I gotta give Danny his flowers on that one. Elder's magic, man, every time. Yeah.
Now, when you and your uncle were sitting over there, he broke off one on a Carolina rig. Is that right?
Yeah, he broke off one on Carolina rig on that spot. But and then we didn't get bit again on that spot. We moved on. That was when we went up the Big River.
I got you. Now y'all took off when y'all left. Did y'all take off to that pocket across from there?
I went across there. I fished it for a little bit. That big long point with that island, and nothing. Like same thing. Terminal followers. If they were out from under, if they weren't undercover, they were not trying to eat. They just were not trying to eat.
It's definitely weird. I don't know. I don't remember it being that in the past. You know, typically that when they're drawing that water, you get bit pretty good. But I move around so much. I don't remember it being quite like that where I had that many. I mean, we're talking 50, 60 fish school, not doing anything. I mean, just But
usually just the pure competition will make a fight.
Well, and that's what I was figuring.
That was not the case.
Yeah, he wasn't doing it all. And then let's see. I gotta hit Mr. Tom Mariko's question or comment rather, because Tom, you got some crazy stuff sometimes. He started out with a blue Hawaiian, looks like Windex. Then he clarified a little more. A blue Hawaiian drink looks like Windex poured over pineapple. You'll be poured out of your slippers. Yeah, well, yeah, I'm sure if it's got any kind of juices or something like that, I'm sure those are the ones that get you. They're the ones that get you.
Man, anything with pineapple juice in it, stuff like that, had me is like a white girl wasted. I'll be. That's no. I'm not a drinker. I'm a cheap date. I'm just not a drinker. Two drinks and I'm over here looking for a place to go take a nap.
That's me. I'll drink a few beers and that's about it. I don't go crazy. Coleman says he said I don't want to sound cocky, but it wasn't that tough. I was doing a few things differently from other guys. And that's the thing is everybody see on Lanier, man, it's like they're catching them. Like they're a consistent catch. I don't know if it's tough for some guys, not tough on Lanier. I really don't know for sure. But obviously 19 pounds is a good day. So congrats to Coleman.
Nobody says Lake Lanier has some of the smartest fish in the country. Don't care what nobody says.
Absolutely.
You got to have that. The little details that do not matter other places matter immensely on Lake Lanier. That little detail, that loop knot, that that one color, that everything, all the little details matter so much on Lake Lanier because there is no fooling those fish. They can see you from a mile away.
They can see you from a mile away, and then they've had everybody and their brother sitting on top of them, beating their heads in for months on end.
Oh, it is the most pressured. It's the most pressured critters you could ever find.
I mean, it's one of those things. Like, what do you think, technique-wise, for that summer tournament? And I'm asking what you think, not what Coleman's going to do. Coleman's got his own stuff. What are you thinking? You're going to tie on, like generally speaking, that you might throw up there. Do.
I'll probably have. I know I'll have a weightless fluke because weightless. I'll probably have the Lanier baits of H2O and a weightless fluke. I'll have the electric shad mooch minnow on probably a 1/8 ounce head, and I'll probably have the green gizzard shad mooch minnow on a 3/16 head or something like that, something bigger, heavier to get down faster on my bigger minnow rod. I'll definitely have a jig because sometimes that's just the deal there.
Yeah.
I'll definitely have a wacky rig because, man, sometimes I have had better luck on Lanier in open water with a wacky rig.
Yeah.
And it just in open. My biggest fish I've ever caught on Lanier he was just under the surface, and I flipped the wacky rig out over top of him, and you'd have thought his fins were on fire. He ate it so fast. And then definitely going to have a crankbait on. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Right now, so many people have abandoned the crankbait here lately that it's just become a great way to catch fish. And then of course I'll have the usual suspects, chrome chug bug or white chug bug depending on what the weather is the day we do it. I'll
Right.
probably have a bone colored one knocker walking bait.
Yeah.
You know, something like that, or the skedaddle. You know, I'll probably have the skedaddle somewhere on there. I got a bunch of rods in my boat.
I mean, I'm gonna have the I'm gonna definitely have a walking bait on. I'll have a chrome walking bait. I'll have a bone walking bait for sure. Crankbait, I'm telling everybody, like you said a minute ago, everybody's abandoning crankbait. I don't know if they've abandoned it or just not talking about it, but I'm gonna have a box of crankbaits ready to go.
We fished Logan Martin not this past, but this past week it would have been 2 weeks prior. My club fished Logan Martin. We came in fourth on Logan Martin, which the weekend before, me and you know, we had a little bit of struggle that, but we went upriver and we come to 1 point, and I sat on 1 point and caught 30 on a crankbait. And I'm telling you, we were just it was every single cast, and that was what it made our tournament. You know,
to
get fourth out of 25 boats, and there's some pretty good guys in that club.
Yeah, I mean, again, for me, I'm a believer in the crankbait. Always have been, always will be with it. There's days where I don't throw it as much. Now that I've got a better setup, crankbait for me is definitely one of my go-to. In fact, that spot with Allie the other day, first pulled up, I threw crankbait first.
Yeah,
and I think I caught one. I might have caught two before I switched over to the fluke. When I saw them start busting, I switched over to the fluke and wore them out on it. But yeah, that crankbait, man, I just something about it. It works. It works. You know, and you see Clint Bartlett, he'll be on the show talking about using the ugliest color 6 cents or whatever it is he's got. I don't know what color it is, but he said it just his best day, or not best day, one of his best bags on Lanier, crankbait fishing. Yeah. So, I mean, I wouldn't give it up. Now, you know, Coleman says something about having a couple of piles. Are you still breaking it down the same way? Are you looking for the points and humps and things like that? Is that your kind of summertime go-to on that, or are you thinking different ways?
To me, I'm immediately, when I start out in the morning, the first spot, whatever the first spot we come up to, I'm going to look to see kind of what depth range those fish are floating in. And when I get a good consensus, because Lanier, they generally sit in about a 5 foot area all over the lake. They'll just sit in this 5 foot or 10 foot area. And once I figure out what depth they want to be at, I'll just highlight that on the map and then go run isolated stuff that looks like that. You know, we'll run Coleman stuff, you know, what Coleman wants to run, his piles and stuff. But there's a brush pile on every point on Lanier at this point.
Yeah,
you know, pull up to a point and swipe around 3 or 4 times, you'll find the brush pile. And
we need some of you brush pile guys from Lanier to visit Wadowee and put brush piles out, because nobody over at Wadowee does it. Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah, nobody does it.
Nobody does.
Yeah, I'll have I'll also have a shaky head on. Like, I'll always have a shaky head on.
Right.
Just because that's the way I like to fish. It's the way I like to catch them. If they get real, like, if it's real high pressure and they're wanting to feed down, you have to let them tell you what they want. Sometimes they want to feed down. Sometimes they want to feed up. You know, just
it's been weird. The shaky head's been weird, man. You and I went to Logan Martin with John O, and they were biting a shaky head.
Yep.
Then you and I go back. We caught one fish on a shaky head, and it was just a fluke in the right spot when I threw it. I have fished the shaky head since then on multiple lakes, and the same react, nothing. I mean, it's like they're not sitting or they're not biting it right now for some reason. I don't know why.
I have not had a good shaky. I've not got on a good shaky head bite in almost a month, 3 or 4 weeks. Something like that last time when we went with John O to Logan Martin, and that's a month ago. That's the last shaky head bite. Look, I'm trying to catch my first fish on a shaky head I made.
There you go.
I need one to bite it. Look, I brought some stuff for show and tell today.
There you go.
So I made this. Now, I'm a rookie, so this is literally the first one I ever made. So
I like it. It looks like it works. I mean,
it was an odd color. It came with all the stuff that I bought, so I did some in green.
Yeah. Too. There you go.
You know, look, just trying to make the hobby more encompassing, I guess. You know, because you can't can't nobody go out and run the boat. Well, people can go out and run the boat every day and go fish every day, but I am not one of those people. I've said it before. This is not what pays the bills. Eric L at kingoffreight.com. If y'all need to move anything, y'all know where to find me.
Right.
That's what pays the bills. So in order to be here, being able to afford the boat, I have to, find something else that I can do in the evenings here and stuff like that to still kind of scratch my hobby itch. So that's kind of what we're doing now. We're going to do some jigs and shaky heads and spinner baits and stuff like that. I got all the stuff to pour the lead and do all that stuff.
Yeah, I told you I'm going up over there learning how to tie jigs before it's all over with, because that's my jig fishing is definitely one of the things I like to do, and they get expensive rather quickly when you're buying them and breaking off some of these name brand stuff. And
I'm telling you,
one of my favorite colors I can't find anymore. So y'all have been scoured looking for it. I've been looking for it, trying to find the skirt material. One day I'm gonna reach out to one of these dang jig material companies. I'm gonna say, look, make me this color so I can make this dang jig again.
I got some stuff coming that I think is going to be pretty close.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be close enough that the bass ain't going to go no difference at 3 or 4 feet.
Yeah. They won't know anything. And like I said, it may just be all in my head, but that dang sure got bit that year I used it, and I refused to throw this one I got now. I got one left. I'm like, I'm not throwing it until I figure this dang color out, because
I ain't getting rid of this for nothing.
And it may be, honest to goodness, it may be that purple that's in there. It's got that purple with the shimmer in it. I don't know what you call it, but it's got that purple in it. It's got just enough of it. Maybe it's the purple. I don't know, but I refuse to throw that jig until I don't know if I've got enough pictures of it. I could go off just the pictures, but I'm gonna figure it out one of these days.
I poured my first jig heads today. I got the mold that I wanted because I like it. I like an argy style for a lot of stuff because I like to skip a jig a lot. I'm a big skipping guy, especially this time of year. You need to be skipping to the big. Sorry, I thought my butt. That's my buddy, man. That is my buddy Brian. Okay, let me tell y'all. Since he wants to talk about I suck.
Yeah,
this man gets me. I was a kayak fisherman. I fished in a kayak, and I have a little 4-foot wide by 12-foot long plastic boat. Yeah. And I went, that I still got. I call that the Fishmaster 5000. I've caught more fish out of that thing than anything I've ever owned.
Yeah.
But I would pond fish. And pond fishing, man, I go out there and catch 20 pounds and there ain't no problem, all day. I had little honey hole ponds. It wasn't nothing to go out there and catch 6s and stuff like that. So this man tells me, come on, we're going to go tournament fishing. I was like, okay, all right, cool, let's go. I was like, I'm pretty good, right? Man, let me tell you a story about pond fishing versus big lake fishing. These are not the same. These are not the same activities at all. Now, this man don't even hardly fish no more, and I'm over here with 6 figures worth of crap trying to fish all these big lakes and stuff. I'm like, man, it's all his fault. It's all his fault, and not all of it, man. I would have eventually got here anyways, but he expedited the process. The first tournament I ever fished in my life, I actually fished with him, and it was a blast.
There's always somebody to get you started.
Yeah, man, that's my buddy. I'm glad to see him in here, man. I love Brian to death.
There's always somebody that gets you going, whether it be the tournament side of it or big lake or whatever.
Sorry, Tony.
My wife is over here tying jigs right beside me. I think she just stuck herself.
Oh, I heard something. I was like, what is that?
Yeah, I want to go. I was just, yep. Stuck herself. I'll do the pouring and the painting the heads and all that stuff. But all the tying of the skirts and all that, her and my daughter are going to do, because I am not that guy. Nope.
So I know they haven't officially named anything, but I told him when he got on the show, I'm going to announce him as the owner of BigFoot Jigs. So that's right.
BigFoot Jigs.
BigFoot Jigs.
We're going to make the Basquatch jig, and
there you go.
The big hairy jig.
We're going to get them to tie. We're going to get them to tie like bucktail into the regular casting jigs and stuff. Make it a BigFoot jig.
Yeah,
Bigfoot hair on it.
Absolutely.
Right. So we got a few comments in here. Tom, man, you got some awesome comments here. We're going to go. head to the greatest weed bed or weed beds, main center Lake Bluff points deeper than 12 feet. He's giving me a list of stuff I need to do. And Wadowee doesn't have weed beds like that, but I get what you're saying. Coleman said he threw a flutter spoon and got hit, but didn't land them. Doug tells us that Wadowee, they're probably shell shot from the wake boats. And Saturday, I don't know how bad it got when you were there. It wasn't bad when I was out there. The wake boats weren't terrible yet. But I left around 11:30, 12 o'clock, so it wasn't bad.
It was. We weighed in at 2:30 Georgia time, which is 1:30 Alabama time. About lunchtime, about 12:30, 1 o'clock, something like that. We were up the big riverside, and it was not bad at all. We come back over to the little riverside, which is basically that's the main body of Wadowee. That's the hub. That's where everybody's up and down. That's the thoroughfare. And you couldn't hardly fish the main lake for all the tubers and the jet skis and all that stuff. And it's because Wadawee's so narrow versus like a Lanier and stuff like that everybody's right on top of one another. There were pontoon boats and wake boats 4 and 5 wide in the main channel. I was like, I'm out on that one. So, but
I think the Big River I know they both got standing timber, but it narrows up quicker. It seems like, and there's not a marina on the Big River. Number one, that's one reason why you don't see them over there. There's no gas on that side, but they stay on that little river side. Now you'll get the pontoons that'll go up the Big River, and but they're not doing it 5 and 6 wide. The little, like you said, the little river. I have been out there when you couldn't move because there's 5 pontoon boats going by, or not pontoons, wake boats going by you, and like side by side. Okay, we're good. We're gonna leave this side. And of course, when that no wake law came out, I think a lot of them moved even further south of the lake because they stay where they're not going to get in trouble, I guess. But and I don't. Okay, we've talked about this before, and I'm gonna get this one off my chest real quick. We're just kind of changing all kind of subjects. We talked about the pontoon boats getting on they get on a track and they refuse to leave that track. Jet skis with children on it, meaning adults with their children on a jet ski with them, they're the same way. I'm coming back to the ramp like early, and there's a jet ski has made it to my port side or left side, and I see a jet ski on my right side, starboard side, coming at an angle towards me. This dude never lets up with 2 kids on the back of this thing and looks at me like I'm crazy. I'm following behind the other jet ski. I'm like, I'm slowing down. I'm following. I'm like, I'm not going to go any faster. He just looks at me like, you got in my way. If you got kids on it, use your dang brains, folks. Like, you don't have to. I don't know. It was just. I just kept thinking this idiot was going to run into, was going to cut me off because I don't know why. I have no clue. Just unreal.
Well, Wadowee is a right hand rotational lake. You're supposed to run the right side of the channel, and if I'm running the right side of the channel, and there's a jet ski coming at me, and 20 foot versus 10 foot, my insurance is pretty good. I ain't letting out.
Well, and I had come around the bend towards and I saw him on my right side, so I started to veer left because he wasn't changing direction. He was going to keep on that. We were going to hit if I kept going way out, so I slowed down and went left to I had no traffic coming towards me. So, yeah, he finally let up. We were probably 2 boat lengths away, and he let up and just kind of looked at me like like I was an idiot. I'm going, dude, you come in off the side of the lake. I was already in my lane. You come up, whatever. Just pay attention, folks. If obviously with the show, you watch the show, pay attention to your surroundings, because where you think you're doing something, somebody else is going to be doing something totally crazy. So just be careful with that.
I would have thought it would have gotten better with the making everybody have to do the little license thing in Alabama and all that, and it literally tells you this is the side of the lake. It's just like driving a car. People stay on the right side of the lake if you're traveling. And the amount of people that just did not pay that any attention.
They just need to get their license. They didn't care.
Like, bro.
They didn't care. Well, I'm maybe I'm overly cautious. I just, number one, I can swim fine. I can do all, but nobody wants to be in a boat wreck. And I dang sure don't want to hit a boat that's got kids on it or something like that. Not even on accident. So I'm stupid, overly cautious. I'll come to a complete stop or pull into a cove and let everybody kind of do their thing, and then I'll get back out there. I've got no reason. there's no gold medal. There's no gold medal at the ramp when I get there, so I could care less. Coleman said it was so hot Friday he drank a half gallon of water and had to go buy 5 more waters. It was definitely hot this weekend for sure. And then he says by the time we get out there on Lanier, it should be peak chrome topwater season. So
can't wait.
you know what's going to happen if John's on that boat with me and I get hit on top water. It's over for the rest.
Tony will be through the rest of the day. I'll tell y'all a story. Tony gets hit on top water. That's it. That's all Tony's doing. Look, you have at least 4 hours of top water fishing before he will give that up because look, you are true to who you are, buddy, and I love it.
The problem, and we've talked about this before. The problem is this: you get hit on top water, especially if you're throwing a 5-inch topwater bait and you get hit. It's not always going to be a small one. It's usually a decent fish. So you get hit one time on that, and you're like, oh, they're biting it. And then 3 hours later, you go, damn, I only had that one bite on this damn topwater. But the right one, I mean, that could be a 5-pounder, I guess. So
yeah,
I don't know.
The bigger fish will generally eat the top water too.
Yeah, I'm convinced they'll bite it still. That's why I still throw it. But Saturday, believe it or not, I think I threw it. I started out with a buzz bait Saturday morning, and they were not paying any attention to the buzz bait. And then I went over. I can't remember if I threw the skedaddle next. I can't remember if I threw it much at all. But they weren't sitting in their normal spots. Like, they weren't sitting on the blow-throughs. They weren't sitting it was just weird. Like I said, they weren't sitting in those areas where I thought they should be. I saw fish moving around the area, but they weren't staying. It was like they wasn't feeding. It was weird.
They weren't really on bait either. Like they should at least be harassing bait or starting to harass. You know, the middle of summertime, they get kind of like they do in the middle of wintertime. Well, they'll get in the middle and just harass bait. They haven't done that yet either. I haven't seen that like it's supposed to. You know, they're not doing what they're supposed to do, but fish can't read, so they're not on the book.
Well, I mean, do you think, everybody talks about the post-spawn funk. Do you think that's what this is a little bit still? Like we're still in that weird time, or just we're in the wrong spots?
I 100% believe that the spawn was a lot later than we thought it was. Then we always, as bass fishermen, as soon as we can take the sweatpants off or the blue jeans off and put on some shorts and go to the lake, we're like, oh, it's the spawn. And that's not always the case. They spawn a lot later than we give them credit for. And now everybody starts getting into, when you get into June, people start talking about the dog days of summer. This is really in my opinion, I ain't the best in the world, but in my opinion, this is the true post-spawn funk right now. It'll be a couple of weeks of just super weird fishing. We get through about the 4th of July. It should go back to regular scheduled program because they got to eat.
Now I've got a theory, and I could be wrong. And some of you guys in the comments are way smarter than I am. May have a better idea on it. So I read the word color and said it. So Wedowee is a drawdown lake, just like Lanier and things like that. They draw it down. How much do you think that affects the spawn? Because they don't start filling it back up until April. It's not full until May, so it's rising water. So it's starting to cover some of those things that are in that spawn area. It's starting to raise it back up deeper than what it should be. I wonder how much that really affects it, and that's why we see a later spawn, and then it's a weird spawn or whatever. Obviously, with weather and the rain we've had, it definitely makes it weird. And we went through 6 or 8 weeks of dry weather, and then just torrential. Somebody told me today we had 37 inches of rain in however many days where I work at. So, because we have to track our rainfall. So anyway, I wonder if that rising water
weird.
I wonder if that rising water on a drawdown lake plays a part in that late spawn thing or whatever. I don't know. It just makes me wonder. I think that's what makes, like you said, the dog days of summer. That June looks bad because it's not really bad. It's just we finally full pool. We've been at full pool for a few weeks now, and that spawn has just ended. And now we're in that post-spawn funk for a lot of the fish that we were fishing for not that long ago, that we were catching not that long ago. So,
yeah, and I also believe that the weather that we've had has got everything kind of in weird stages, because nothing has been consistent. The heat hasn't been consistent. The dry it has rained probably 20 out of the last 30 days here at my house.
Oh yeah,
it's been it's been a super weird spring and early summer season for weather wise. And
just a weird way. Usually the south end's kind of those gimme fish. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to go catch a fish, go to the south end, you'll catch some fish. And I did, just not typical spots, man. It was just weird. The way they were acting was just weird. So I don't know. Coleman said he did catch a few on deep diving crankbait, but nothing fancy, or nothing crazy rather. And then Tom says, if I try a tight line, it's the best with a black 6-inch worm, tight line it, set the hook when it bumps. The 6-inch jelly worm is the best to learn on. I'm not opposed to any of that, because a lot of how I fish, believe it or not, I will definitely tight line one through the water, and I'll let it pendulum. I had plenty of fish bite one, and we talked about this on Thursday night show. Black worm this time of the year on Wedowee will get bit, and I don't know, was it me and you talking about the lamprey eels?
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah.
So somebody asked me the other night. They said, "Do y'all have lampreys? Do y'all have lampreys at Wedowee?" I said, "It's funny you say that." Somebody, I couldn't remember if it was you and I talked about it. I said,
they're very rare.
But there's something, because I'm telling you, May, June time frame, they will absolutely kill a black trickworm or black cinco in areas where you wouldn't think you're going to catch many fish at, and absolutely wear it out on that. So I don't know.
I've pulled up fish the last month with lamprey sores on them too.
Yeah,
where you see where the lamprey was attached to them somewhere or something like that. Like, I pulled up fish with not. They're super rare. They're like not super, but they're relatively rare on Wedowee. We don't get them a ton.
I've caught more this year than I remember catching in the past of decent sized fish with those sores. They're kind of an oval shaped sore on the side, and I thought, why am I catching more than one fish that looks like that? I mean, several of them look like that. I didn't know what it was. Didn't even think about it being an eel, like that. So It makes sense. Now, if I see one, I'm going to be kind of curious, but I just hadn't seen one yet.
But if you go to the Tennessee River, you'll see them 10 times as much with the lamprey sores on them, or with the eels actually on them. They'll pull them up with the eel still on them. Like I've never pulled a fish in Wedowee that still had the eel on.
I hadn't either, but I've seen some decent sized fish with it. That made me, when I saw the second one this year, I thought, it don't make any sense. Why is that? But that makes more sense now that lamprey eel being possible in Wedowee definitely makes me think that's what that is.
I just may not catch big enough fish to have the lamprey still on it, but whatever.
Apparently I don't either. I think the biggest spot I caught this year had one of those sores on it. I thought that was a weird sore on the fish, but when I saw more than one, like I said, when I saw the second one, that's when it really started making me think about it. Tom says he's old time. He's old time about the 6-inch jelly worm off of a worm sack, thread on a small jig head, and drag, pop it through the ditches. Okay, yeah, take a jelly worm, bite it off the worm sack, put a small jig head on it, and use it kind of like a jig. Makes sense.
Yeah.
I definitely, it's like a shaky head at that point, basically just a little smaller, a little finesse shaky head almost. And then he also says, Eric, you need black, brown, purple, white, and green is great too. Talking about your jig heads.
We got all that. I've probably got 15 colors in here. Actually, all this stuff came from Brian, my buddy that's in the comments.
Oh,
really? This stuff was at his house, and he didn't have time to do it, so I got it and brought it to my house and set up a place for it, and it was his uncle's collection of stuff, and I probably got 200 colors of jig skirts. I've got 10 or 12 different colors of powder paint for the jig heads. I've got a half a dozen molds, and I done bought another half a dozen molds. All that stuff. So we're definitely going to have a variety of things.
Now, since we're talking about jig heads and pouring jig heads, do you ever think you'll ever get your own custom jig head mold made?
Now,
I know it's early. I know it's really early in your process, but that was always something I looked at. Was like, I want something that just mine.
My wife just said, "Can I answer the question?"
Uh-oh.
I was like, no. And the answer from her perspective is absolutely not.
Yeah.
My perspective is, because I know my husband, he does everything big. Don't let him lie to you. He'll have one specialized just for him that he has created. Give him 6 months.
It was a loaded question.
Give him 6 months. So
Tony set me up here. That's what that was. He knew Jessica was sitting right here. That's all that is.
Well, I mean, honestly, when I was looking at doing it, I wanted my jig. I wanted a jig that was mine. And there's a company I had found. I had to go back and find them again. They'll make you. They'll cut your CNC it. They'll do all the design of it, CAD design, all that stuff. But they refuse. Absolutely, they will not make you a mold if it copies, mimics, or anything anybody else's mold. And I thought that was pretty cool. So
That's
I wanted to do one. But I mean, how different can you make a jig mold is a question. Like, what can you really do different?
Yeah, like I personally, I really like the 6th Sense heads, like the 6th Sense hybrid jigs,
Never tried them.
they're just, I like the way they're shaped. They're kind of ridged on the side. I don't know if it helps, but I've caught a bunch of big fish on them. I also like an Arky jig, because I like to skip and stuff like that. And then I like a football jig and some things. But like you said, it's kind of like, how much different can we really make it?
Yeah. I
I
think the
mean,
biggest thing is having stock. If you're going to make something that's really good, like let's say it's peanut butter and jelly, we just throw a random color out there. If it gets, you got guys using it, having enough of them available. So when somebody wants to go buy one, because that was always my thing. I'd go to buy a jig and it's like, well, we're out of stock of the 3/8 or whatever.
No. If I make one and it's really getting bit on Wadawi, nobody will ever know about that sucker.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't buy this to sell it. I bought it to make what I wanted.
Listen, that color I showed you, I'm telling you, for whatever reason, that pre-spawn up till post-spawn, I know for sure.
Yeah.
When they're starting to fill the lake back up, that color gets bit. Every blowdown you throw into, you're gonna get fish. But
yeah,
again, it may just be my head, but that's been my best getting bit. Now, that jig head I showed you, that's kind of an Arky style, but then it's got kind of a keeled bottom to it. I don't know if I have to send you a picture of the bottom of it.
Yeah,
better, but
because the ones I've got right now are that's like the Arky style.
Correct. Yep.
Which that jig will skip very well. That jig skips really well.
100%.
This is my first run of actual jigs today I've ever made in my life.
That's good.
Shout out to Danny too. Danny gave me some pointers. I messaged Danny and he put me on some game, gave me some pointers.
There you go.
So I gotta shout out Danny for giving me some help.
Heck yeah. Well, hey, listen, that's what we're all here for, research and development. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't know what I was doing with them for sure.
Look, I got my whole family's in the comments today.
I like it. We're gonna get down to it. We're still in the comment. Jeff Brazil says they got jet skis, wake boats, and pontoon boats starting at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. It's only getting worse on Pickwick. Holy crap! I would lose. Now we get some jet skiers that'll start about 8 o'clock in the morning. The pontoons about 9ish. Wake boats are usually about 10 o'clock. Now that's the homeowner folks that live on the lake. Now boat ramp, you got to get out of there by about 12 o'clock, because when I leave at 11:30, they're coming in like they're just going to the Civil War, rolling in through Wedowee, one after another to get to the ramp. So
they got the spear hanging out the roof and everything. They're on the march, boy. They're going to war.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's see. Brian says skirt colors can be figured out. You just have to look where there's tons of plastic out there for. So Brian, I know he's talking about the one I'm talking about. I have reached out. The guy that Brazalo made the jig. I bought it at the Noe show last year. It was a special show run. I sent him the picture. He said, I don't have any more left. That was a show special. He gave me the name of the company that made the skirt material. They don't make it anymore. He reached out to the company. The only other option I've got, that I've talked about, was Spanker Jigs that runs Jeff runs the Coleman, Alabama show now. He said, hey, we'll send it over to China and have you a batch made. Because I'm at that point, like, if I can find that material, we're tying 100. I'm gonna employ you to pour 100 heads, and we're gonna tie 100 of them.
We'll make it work
just for me. So I'll buy 25,000 packs of those skirt material if I have to. I mean, if I've got to, for sure.
Yeah, whatever it takes, we'll make it happen.
And then Brian says Sasquatch jigs coming to a market near you.
Look, I have a job. Everybody, I have a job. But if you got something you can't find or whatever, if you're like, me personally or whatever, y'all just hit me up, come by the house, we'll pour you whatever you want, and make it and send you on your way. It'll be fine.
There you go. John said, I'm just going to throw what you tell me to throw. Listen, John, I'm going to do my dangest to figure something out. If I got to go to Lanier at least once between now and then to figure something out, I'm going to go. We're going to get you on some fish.
We got a couple open weeks between here and there.
Yeah, we're going. Actually, I may be at Lanier this weekend. I'm supposed to go out with Rob Williams. I got to call him this week. I'm going to do some filming for Spot Choker. I want to get some tutorials on how he's fishing it. We did the show with him, but I want to get like some in-depth from Rob, because listening to somebody tell you they've got 5 or 6 spot chokers on the deck and they're reeling it super slow, it's great to hear it. But if I can get the camera on him and actually do filming work, not just me fishing, I believe it'll be a really good tutorial on how he does it, and it kind of help explain a little more too for that. So I may be on Lanier this weekend. I don't know yet. I got to talk to him and find out. John just says, just point and tell me where to throw. I'm following your lead.
For the first time since me and you fished together on January 1st, I do not have a solid plan for fishing this weekend. That's the first weekend. That's the first. It has either been cheerleading or fishing or something, or or graduation or something. This weekend coming up, I do not have a solid plan for what I'm doing fishing wise. I'm like,
nothing wrong with that.
I might hook the boat up and go to Smith Lake Saturday morning. I don't know. No, fella. I'm gonna go somewhere.
There's some weekends that's just the fun thing to do, and I'll get guys in the comments want me to go fishing and stuff like that, and I want to go fishing with everybody. Trust me, I do. But there's some weekends I'm just like, I'm just gonna hook the boat up and drive to whatever body of water my brain tells me to drive to and go fishing. Sometimes just got to get away. But like I said, this weekend, me and Rob talked about it. I'm not sure that we're going to do it, but I need to get with him and find out for sure. Brian said, there's no common sense with jet skis. You got to be the brains behind the operation. It doesn't matter what body of water. The jet skis are out there to have fun, and they don't understand. I agree 100%.
Oh, that's a true story.
Yeah,
I'm really interested in all of Tom's comments. Tom's giving me some the juice right here. I'm sitting here reading them. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and then Brian says, go fish downriver by Logan Martin in July. Dude, trust me, I've done that crap. Logan Martin, we flew down Logan Martin when Eric and I fished that tournament. We idled back. That was stupid.
Me and Brian, actually, the reason he says that too, we went over there one day. We had a club tournament the next weekend, so we went the weekend before, and we jumped in one of those just Saturday morning, out of town and country, good old local boy tournaments.
Yeah.
You talk about get your butt whooped quick. Them boys catch them. I don't care. Them local boys, they catch them. If you ain't got 18 to 20 pounds on Logan Martin every single time, you hang it up, just like going to Lanier. But man, we went up the lake and we were coming back down, and there were jet skis 5 and 6 wide, wouldn't move, running for it. Oh, it was terrible. Same thing like when we went. It's just terrible. Yeah.
That day you and I were out there, the pontoon boats, man, they just didn't know which direction they wanted to go. They were crisscrossing. The jet skis weren't that bad, and the wake boats wasn't terrible, but the doggone pontoon boats, those jokers. Well, we went with Jono that time. We sat in that one spot, that one creek arm. Holy crap, man. They did not care. They were 15 foot off the back of the boat, just flying. They didn't care. We were sitting in the middle of the channel though, so can't really say much.
Man, sometimes you can literally watch, when it gets to be traffic on the lake and you've taken away all the lines of the road, you can literally watch people's brains short circuit as they're driving. I've literally been coming down the lake and watched the pontoon boat change direction 6 times because he couldn't figure out what he wanted to do. I'm like, bro, make a decision. The road is full of squirrels, dead squirrels that could not make a decision. Just make a decision and go with it. Lord have mercy.
I see what you're talking about Tom's comment now. If you can adjust the weed guards with hammer and a chisel on the molds.
Yeah, I know what he's talking about too. You could, because there's pins in the molds that make the hole for the weed guard, and you can adjust that. You can also, I'm picking up what he's putting down. Tom, I may hit you up about some stuff, get a little lesson too.
And then John 1659 says, if they make it, Eric's got it. So
I got a sneaky feeling I know who that is. His name is not John. I think
got
that's my buddy Ray. If I know right, if it's who I think it is.
Does Ray have a white motorcycle like a Harley?
Yes, Ray has a white motorcycle like a Harley.
His logo picture is a white, looks like a Harley.
Well, Ray used to have. Now Ray has a super cool lowrider, like a Caprice on the Daytons, the hydraulics, the whole deal. It is just cool as crap.
That's making a comeback, isn't it? Those things I've seen a lot
That's
more.
That's my boy, man.
And he says you owe him a fishing trip, by the way.
So. I do. He called me. I think it was sometime in January, February. It was the weekend that it was supposed to snow 6 inches. And I always tell Ray, because I'm always trying to get him to go fishing with me because he's my buddy. I'm like, hey, anytime you want to go, man, let me know. I got you. Let's see, ding, ding, I got it. And I tell him all the time, hey, anytime you want to go, man, let's go. It's like literally like a 90% chance of snow, high of 27 or whatever that weekend was, that Saturday. And he's like, all right, I want to go fishing. I'm like, you got me. I'm out. I'm out, buddy. You got me on that one.
That's too funny.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's pick the worst time to go. Let's go.
Yeah, that's what he was doing. He was like, all right, I ain't got nothing to do. Let's go. I'm like, yeah, me neither. I ain't got nothing to do either.
Not going to the lake. Eddie Hudson says try lunker bites for that specific skirt tab, and I don't know. I've looked at a bunch. I'll have to check.
I'll go look at that one too, because I know what it is. I mean, I know what it is we're looking for, so I'll go check that one out. Thanks, Ed.
And I don't mind. It's not a big secret for me on that jig. Honestly, I mean, it's basically a peanut butter and jelly color ish. It's just got some different. What do they call those tabs where they've got the color and then they've got like a band? I guess it's a band. It's got a band of it's like a pink or a salmon color.
It's a glitter tab, but it's a little bit different. It's a very different tab than anything I've seen common.
Yeah, when you go look at all these tab companies, you would think, I mean, like they got some stupid colors. You'd think that one would be in there, but for some reason it's not around. So we'll figure it out though. Thanks for that, Eddie. We'll check that one out too.
We'll definitely figure that out. Go look at that.
Says, take a weedless mold, align the chisel for the weed guard, whack it with a hammer to modify the aluminum mold. Yep. So he's definitely talking about, knocking a whatever. And I've got
some. I'm gonna drill some custom stuff on some of them and stuff like that. But I may look into having who knows? I may get into this, really like it, really catch fish with it, and want to do my own mold or something like that. But right now, that's just, look, I'm a brand new rookie. I am trying to just figure out how to do it consistently and make a good product. That's all.
Yeah. And then Silver Punk, what's going on, buddy? Welcome to the chat. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Coleman said he might be headed back to Lanier this weekend as well. So you got your partners pre-fishing the whole month of July for.
Hey, you never know. I might show up there. There ain't no telling. Just depends on literally what time I wake up and how the mood strikes me. I'm gonna hook the boat up, see what happens.
Hey, go for it, man. Go for it. It's all what it's about anyway. And biggest thing is we all want to do good, but we all want to, I'd like to at least put John on some. I don't care if we catch 25 2-pounders. I just want to put him on some dang fish.
Yeah.
He fishes in a river on a kayak, and he's gonna come to Lanier on a boat, and I just want to put him on some fish. So that's my biggest thing. I'm
gonna tell you, he fishes Sinclair though, man. Sinclair is a fun place. It is a fun fishery. It is super shallow. It is a largemouth fishery, and it has a power plant on it that keeps the water temperature warm. In the winter on that lake, it keeps the water well warmer around that area. Then, man, you catch some good ones, good ones.
Yeah, I think we've talked about it on the show a few times. Is it a pump back lake? It's a
pump back lake.
Yeah, we've talked about that one.
Now the water level will change 2 to 3 foot overnight, like it ain't nothing to. Wow.
Yeah, and that's what I figured too. And Randall Perry says jerk skis and jerk boats are the devil. I agree. I mean,
look, I'm all about everybody enjoying the lake. Everybody got the right to the lake, just like I do. I get that, 100%. But man, give me till 10 o'clock. Like, just give me till 10 o'clock, and y'all go give it Hades. You do what you want.
And I feel like Wedowie's pretty good about that. Like, you got till 10:30, and then you start getting the few that ride by you, and then but by 11:30, 12 o'clock, you better be figuring out how you're getting out of there. That if you don't like them, but when we fished on Logan Mark, we sat in all that crap all day with him, with Jono, and it didn't really bother me too bad. Of course, I wasn't running the trolling motor all day either, so that's where it starts to get aggravating when you're out there running a trolling motor in that crap. And you're trying to keep the boat from getting hit with the rope way on the side.
Lanier in August, I'll definitely be. They can call me a big girl if they want to, but I'll have my seat up in Lanier and August, my leaning post up.
Yeah, I need to get mine ordered before then. So, because I'll put John. See, John in the excuse me. He says, "Yeah, I'm gonna feel awkward on a boat," and he says, he felt awkward on a boat. Anyway, excuse me. I'm gonna have to put my seat in the back for John so he can used to be sitting down fishing from the back of the boat. Not because John's older, but because he's used to sitting down in a kayak.
He's gonna be like, so much room for activities.
Yeah, right. Oh me.
My problem is I've got enough stuff that I like to take with me that I would sink the fire out of a kayak now. I used to have a bona fide. I loved fishing out of my bona fide. I enjoyed the kayak stuff. I really did. I had no issue with it. All that. But like I said, then my buddy, here he comes, gets me messed up on the tournament fishing. And I was like, I literally sold my kayak and went and bought my old Ranger like 2 weeks after we fished that first tournament.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Yeah, exactly. The Mason Roach fishing. Mason, good to hear from you, buddy. He's on TikTok. Said good evening. And then Mark Johnson says y'all should see Hartwell on any given day. So
Hartwell's one of those places too.
I've never fished Hartwell. It's one of those places I want to go, but I don't know. We'll see. Let's see here. Silverpunk says I need to jump on a boat with someone August 1st. So if anybody's got a boat seat open for the tournament on August 1st for the John Wilson tournament out of War Hill, right?
War Hill, yeah.
War Hill. Y'all get with Kevin. He needs a boat. He needs a boat ride. We want to have him come out and fish for sure. I'd like to have him out there. But yeah, get with Ryan Sheffield or Tony Watkins. They can facilitate somebody that's got a boat, I'm sure, if they hadn't filled up already. I still got to pay in, so I'm gonna do that. Tom says, "Open his eyes, Tony. Get good." I don't know what that means, but okay. I don't know what it means, Tony, but we'll do it. Let's see. Yeah, and then John said he was thinking the same thing about a seat. So yeah, brother, I'm gonna have the seat on there for you. Don't worry.
Lanier in August, you gotta have one.
Well, I've got to get I want the Millennium. What do you call it? The saddle pommel horse seat.
The pommel horse. Yeah,
that's what I want for the front.
That's what I'm gonna buy and put on mine, so it matches the back one. Because I've got the nitro. I didn't get the original nitro seat with my boat when I bought it, which was one of the only things that kind of I just didn't care for or whatever. But it wasn't no big deal. But I bought the Millennium seat, the fold down seat for the back, and I'm gonna tell you that thing is comfortable. That thing is awesome.
I might buy one of them for the front. I ain't gonna lie. I might buy one for the front and get the tall post to go with it, and just sit there and ride like it's doggone Cadillac, man. Because that is a nice seat.
Man, that seat is comfortable.
I don't ever sit. I never use a seat on the front of my boat. Well, I won't say never, but hardly ever any kind of butt seat or anything. But you put that thing in the back of your boat when we're fishing a tournament, after about 3 hours, there's Tony sitting down. And I don't hardly ever sit down to fish.
Look, I'll put Tony on the front sometimes running my trolling motor, and I'll go to the back. I'll sit down in the seat and chunk and whine for a little while. I'm good with it.
Yeah, listen, you after 40, number one, I've got nothing to prove to anybody. I don't care if you ride by me and laugh. I don't give a damn. I don't care. It is not. I am not. And number two, I'm not out there to win. I mean, I'm out there to win, but I'm not out there making a living like you said earlier. I'm just out there to have fun. If my knees are hurting, by gosh, I'll have something on there. And then Coleman said, after knee surgery, a seat is a must. I need to get one of those Millenniums. So, yeah, dude. And I'm supposed to have a knee surgery. They want to do a replacement on my right knee. My left knee's starting to hurt now. So, yeah, seats is definitely going to be on there for the Lanier tournament for sure.
Look, I ain't got nothing to prove to nobody. As long as the wife don't lock me out of the house, man, I don't care about much else.
Yeah, exactly. I
care
mean,
less about anybody else's opinion, brother.
I don't care. And then Tom says he's worried about gators. I have worried about gators big enough to swamp my bass boat. I hadn't been anywhere there's been gators big enough to swamp a bass boat yet.
Nope, I'm not going there.
All right. So I've got, John says pommel horse seat, my training wheels, LOL. There you go. All right. So I've got a question for everybody in the chat. Maybe Eric, you might know. I don't know. Have you ever fished in Florida before?
Only in the ocean. I've never. There's my guy there.
We're gonna get here. So I've got a question for everybody in the chat. Going to ICAST July 14th, 10th, whatever that weekend, the weekend before. The wife and I are leaving to go to Daytona and then drive over to ICAST. That you can get your passes on Tuesday. I'm looking for a guide on Kissimmee that you trust or that you know of. Anybody knows of anybody down there that, hey, this is the guide, because you can get on there and you can find everybody, and there ain't a guide service on there that's saying, hey, I don't catch bass. So they all claim you're gonna catch your fish, whatever. I need some input, because if I'm gonna spend the money, I want to go out there and catch some good fish. Not necessarily a PB or anything, but I like to go catch fish. So if anybody's got anything in the chat, drop it down. Please let me know. I've seen a few that look really promising. The other night, Kevin told me I needed to go to the Stick Marsh, which is relatively small area. You have to pretty much have a guide, I think. I guess you can take your boat, but you better know what the heck you're doing, because you're going to tear it up. Supposedly, it's got some lunkers in there. But I'm looking for a guide down there at Kissimmee, Stick Marsh, the lake down there where I can go catch some good fish. So,
only guide from Florida that I really follow is called Bassman Rand Fishing. And it's Real Florida Hammers Guide Service. But I think they're on Okeechobee.
yeah.
But they catch some absolute monsters all the time. I mean, it's literally, the proof is in the pudding, and it's flipping, it's grass flipping and stuff like that. But they catch, it's him and his wife do it. Man, they catch freaking monsters, 12s and 13s, 14s all the time.
I don't know that I want to make that drive down to Okeechobee. Not saying I wouldn't, but I've got my wife going with me, and she may want to go. She said she might actually want to get on the boat with us, but I'm not taking any gear. Or if I do, I might take one small, one spinning reel or something like that. I'm not going crazy, because we're going to be in her new car, and she don't want me driving around with a 7'6" casting rod in the back of her.
Personally, if it was me, I would be looking for anybody that could help me catch peacock bass. I want to catch peacock bass.
I do.
That's what I do.
I do want to catch peacock bass, but I really want to go down there and catch me a good largemouth, just to say I've done it. And then yes, peacock had been on my list since the TNN days or whatever it was. We used to watch the shows back in the day, and they'd bending out hooks.
What you know about the Sports South Network? Come on now.
Hey, man, back in those days, it was TNT, TNN, whatever it was on Saturday mornings, and my dad's, why are you watching them fake fishermen? That's what he used to tell me. He's like, they got guys in scuba gear down there hooking them fish for them. I'm like, okay.
Man, what are you talking about? I wanted to be one of the Lanier brothers so bad. I thought I wanted to go pike and muskie and walleye fishing. That was what I wanted to do. That's where I would really still like to go walleye fishing, or big tiger muskie fishing, stuff like that.
Yeah. It would be fun to do. I wouldn't mind doing something like that. But again, that's going to places that I would have to go with somebody, because I don't know them. And Tom, I appreciate that comment. Don't spend a lot of money on a guide, Tony. You're good enough. I do. I appreciate the heck out of that. That means the world to me. My problem is this: I got a 91 Ranger that I am not dragging down to ICAST, and I don't know those lakes at all. Like, I've never even been on a Florida lake before. So yeah, I don't want to. I do appreciate that. I would hope maybe I could figure something out, but I don't know. All right, Coleman wants to know, Eric, one bait for the rest of your life, what would it be? Rod, reel, line, weight, color, etc. And I feel like maybe you answered this the last time you were on the show.
I got two answers.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, if it's one bait forever that I have to go catch fish, and it's like I have to feed myself type situation, it's 100% a stick worm. It's going to be a Senko, because I can do a billion different things with it. I'll throw it on everything from Texas rig to Carolina rigged. I can throw it weightless. I can wacky it. I can skip it under a dock. I can fish it on top. I can fish it on the bottom. I can swim it in the middle sometimes. I mean, there's just There's too much stuff you can do with it.
Right.
It was not my favorite way to fish. It's just not. I mean, old school dragon is not how I love to catch them. But the way I want to catch them, it'd be a minnow all day.
Yeah.
I love my live scope. I love watching the fish eat. I love chasing schoolers. I love, if I can get now, I'm like Tony with top water. I get one to eat a minnow, boys and girls, we are done. We are through. You can put all that other crap up because I am doing this the rest of the day.
It's funny because we'll be fishing, and let's say we have caught or we hadn't caught much, and Eric's, I'm gonna see if I can get one to bite with a minnow. I'm like, he gets one to bite with that minnow, we're gonna be out there minnow, which I don't mind. I like minnow fishing.
Look, my butt. I know who I am as a person, and if I catch one on a minnow, my hind end is through, son. I'm done.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. If they want to play my game, I'm playing it with them.
The funny part is like this year, so far in the last couple months, like if we're fishing together, they're biting a top water for me. So I'm like, top water. And there's certain things you got to throw at. Well, he gets a minnow fish. I'm like, well, there goes top water because we're going out for these, and I don't mind it. It's funny because I'm like, we fish really well together, but then I've gotten on this top water spectrum and you're on the minnow. And I'm like, one of us has got to give, you know what I mean?
Look,
so it's hilarious.
This is your time of year. This summertime is your time of year for that, because don't worry, January, December, February, all of them's coming. There's a 90-day section there where my minnow is going to be king, and I cannot wait for it. I used to hate fishing in the wintertime. That's what forward-facing sonar for me opened up the fourth season. I was spring, summer, and fall fisherman. And forward-facing sonar 100% just blew the winter open. I'm probably a better winter fisherman now than I am any other time of year at this point. Because they eat it.
Electronics has absolutely changed how I am as a fisherman. And I don't mean that just with forward-facing. I'm talking about side scan, down scan, 2D, whatever. Because, I remember when I got back into fishing, everybody's like, the fall, man, the fall is just, the lull. You can't really catch anything because they're out doing this. I'm like, holy crap, I can ride around in my boat with the screen that tells me where they're at, chasing bait fish or whatever. Like you said, the wintertime absolutely has opened up just a whole realm of fishing that we didn't know, or we weren't maybe as good at back in the day. I'm all for it.
Historically, throughout the last 3 or 4 years, I will catch some of my biggest fish of the year on the opening day of gun season for deer.
Yeah.
The best part about opening day of gun season is everybody get their butt off the lake. That's what the best part about it is. I got family there like, let's go fishing, or I want to go hunting. I'm like, y'all go on hunting. My favorite part about opening day of gun season is that everybody is off the lake.
Have fun with it.
Y'all have fun with it. So
I did my hunting thing, and fishing is now taking over that 100%. Like I'm talking about selling some of my hunting gear this year because I hadn't hunted in 3 or 4. I hadn't hunted since I'm on the boat. Let me put it that way. So
I'll be hunting me a warm spot.
Yeah. Doug says that the Florida freeze down south killed the peacock bass this year in Florida. Killed all of them.
Dang.
Oh, really? I mean, I know they're
really cold. It got really cold over the winter down there. It got really cold here a few times.
Yeah, so that may be the case. I don't know. I hadn't.
Are we going to talk about the new minnow?
The new minnow? Yeah, we're going to talk about it. Trust me, we're going to talk
about
the new
minnow. I brought some stuff for show and tell.
I got some too. I brought some too.
I brought some stuff.
No, you can't bring it up on the screen and put it back in the back. Now, what you got there? I got to see that one.
I bought a box because my biggest gripe with the koi key, the urchin style baits, is I bought them, and I bought one when the original run got hot a year and a half ago, or whatever.
Is your screen still on horizontal? Yep, you're still on horizontal. So we're gonna go back there. Yeah. I was gonna make it bigger so it would show more, but you have to put it right in front of the camera.
All right. So I found this one. It's a Plano. It's a big Plano storage box. It's one of the deep ones. Yep. And Backwater Outfitters, they're on Facebook or whatever. And the guy, the way he sells things, he comes up on Facebook and he makes a video and he goes, all right, I got these and I got 100 of them or 75 of them or whatever. And you know, you got to call him to order one. So, I mean, that's his stick. That's the way he does things. But, man, I saw this thing and I called and called. I had to call about 30 times to get through, but I got one. And they're just all little pins that the little bait sits on. And each one has its own little spot in the box. And you just put it down in here and it keeps everything separated, keeps them all nice and dry and away from each other. And then when you close the box back, all the pins can't get shaken out because they're dead level with the top of the box. So they're completely secure. See?
I like it.
I was a big fan. The box was like $75, but I was like, whatever.
No, that's fine. I mean, you know, you got that the same day that Full Reel Custom Baits came out with theirs. They got the 3D printed tabs with the metal hooks in it, and it goes in the same plain old deep box. I guess it's the same box. So
I would have probably bought them, but I ordered that, and they dropped their video probably 30 minutes after I ordered that.
Yep, it was the same day. I remember that. And now, I've got to order into him for the box and some of their particular fuzz balls, what they call them. I've got that coming. I hope, because I don't have a whole lot of urchin baits yet. Now I did get my order came in today, so that's pretty cool. I'm happy about that because, as you saw, I got my first urchin bite over the weekend. I was pretty impressed with it. All right, so it was like throwing a jig. That's what I was doing. I wasn't out in open water with it. I was around a dock pole and I literally called the shot. It's on the video. I called the shot. I was like, there should be a fish sitting there because they had just cut a tree down apparently, and there's stuff in the water. I'm like, there should be a fish there. Zoinks! There he was, sitting right behind the dock post. So, well,
the bite I was on over the weekend too, that wacky rig bite, that urchin bait's good for that too. You can skip it under a dock like that weightless and just get murdered. The bigger fish, because the bigger fish they've seen a 1.2 billion Senkos slide under the dock like that, but that fuzzball slides up under the dock like that, and they go, "What is that?" Smack.
Yeah, 100%. Now the hook I was using was the trigger hook, so that is
those are coming.
And that, you and I ordered about the same time. I got mine in. They said they were making yours or something, or they had to get them in.
I ordered two different sizes. I ordered the 4/0 and the 5/0. They were out of the 5/0 when I ordered mine, so they had to make more 5/0s before they could send the order out. But it shipped today, so I should have them. I'll have them this week.
I don't say it'll probably be there tomorrow. I think when they sent mine, said it was shipped. I think I got it the next day or the day after that. It wasn't long. I got the trigger, but you can't really see it in this light, but it's a green pumpkin color. You see that kind of, you almost see the green there, but it's green pumpkin color. Anyway,
you like the quality of it?
As far as the hook is it's a very good hook. As far as the paint goes, it ain't worth a damn. I'm not talking about their paint, but you're throwing a fuzz ball. It ain't like I'm throwing a heavy, it's a 1/8 ounce hook. It's not heavy. And I think after about maybe the 5th or 6th cast, I already noticed it was getting down to the lead. So if they charge you more for paint, I'd probably just get it unpainted and be done with it. It's a great setup though. I love the setup. You put the fuzz ball on there. It rides. The smaller ones ride right in that little hook right there. They make another one that I guess that angles out a little more that holds a bigger one. So they. And hook the fish it hooked it right up to the top of my mouth. Never missed a beat with it. So I like it. Again, I can't remember if they charged you extra for the paint or not, but I'll probably just buy them unpainted if I could get the option to. It worked fine. Good. Like I said, you're not going to bend that hook out. It's a pretty stout little hook. So I like it. Not bad at all. I also got these. I hadn't tried these yet. Those are the anchor weights.
Yeah.
I got some of those. I don't know. We'll figure that out, I guess, as I go. I ain't really decided what I'm going to do with that.
The world is figuring it out at this point.
I'm just trying to figure out what I like the best, because to me, I haven't thrown the bigger ones yet. Have you thrown them yet at all?
I haven't thrown. I threw the 17 millimeter when it first came out, and I caught, I think, 2 or 3 fish on it. But I know the little bitty one. I've caught catfish on the little bitty one. I never do too good on the little bitty one. But the bigger ones are supposed to be the better of them, for our area and what we're doing. So we'll see.
I've got the small ones right now. Well, I got some more in here. Just it's in the box over here, but I'm throwing the small fuzz balls, so they're light. So that I went with that hook because it's got a 1/8 ounce. It was like casting a bitsy bug jig. So it was light, but I was still castable on a bait caster. I mean, it cast pretty good distance too. So I didn't have a problem with it. Yeah. I got the quad, expensive quad hooks. I got those.
The Ryugi.
Yeah, they got the Ryugi. They got the spins on the spin head. We'll see how those work out. Again, I need to get me some line through nail weights. I haven't got those yet, but I'm gonna try those. I got the 1/0.
That was the Ike and Ellie video, I think, that did that.
I don't know.
That's if you look at Mike Iaconelli, his video on the Koike, that was how he rigged it, was with a line through nail weight, drove through the center and then line through it and then tied off to a quad Ryugi. And I mean, it's Iaconelli, so
it makes sense. I've got a buddy he's tested out. He's got $1,000 in Koikes and hags and other people's stuff. So he's been sending me pictures of how he's rigging it up. I've sent you those pictures. Same basically what I just showed you. He's got the same trigger hook, the quad hooks. He's got another hook. I'm not sure on that one yet. That's more of a, not really a belly weighted hook, but I guess you call it a belly weighted hook that you shove the bait through or through the bait. I tried. I did throw it on a belly weighted hook a few times. I don't know. I didn't get bit on it. So I don't know. I only got one fish on it so far. So it's not like I'm wearing them out with a Koike just yet. So, but, then I got my hags in finally. So I'm finally an owner of an official sized fuzzball, Koike, or whatever you want to call it. I'm in the big boy game. Now they're coming out with a big Tex version of this. Hags is supposed to be even bigger. I don't know what, 21, 32. I don't know what the hell size it's going to be. But I got
I'm a real boy.
Do what?
I'm a real boy now.
I'm a real boy. I'm a big boy. I'm a big boy. I can do it all by myself. But yeah, I think that's the green pumpkin blue. I got those in. We'll see how those work. Anybody thrown the hags yet?
So far, I've got. Now this one's the queen tackle. I kind of like this color. It's like more of a blue.
Yeah.
I was looking for something kind of brighter. It may not be worth the rubber it's made out of, but we'll see.
I don't know. Queen makes a good product. I saw those. I'd already ordered these, so I need to get some queens.
I throw. I shout out to my local tackle shop, D&M Home and Outdoors in Buchanan, Georgia. They've got a ton of the queens up there.
Do they?
If y'all need the queens, go see them. Great people. I can't say enough good stuff about them. My local mom and pop shop.
What's the price on those? Do you remember?
I think they were like $10.99 for two of them. It wasn't bad. It was like, or $9.99 for two of them. It wasn't bad.
Not bad at all.
No,
that's a really good price.
Yeah, because they come in a 2-pack instead of just a single box. So that's kind of where you get, Yeah, that's kind of where you get. Then I've got the hags, which is this is the Scupper Nog knockoff. They call it like red bug, red dirt, something. I don't remember. Got that.
Yeah. So the Scupper Nog, I had it in my cart and didn't buy it. I wish I had.
Yeah.
I didn't know the original. I waited.
Yeah, I had one of the original Scupper Nogs. That was the one that melted on me.
Nah.
Yeah. And then, of course, you got to have green pumpkin anything.
Yes, I got the green pumpkin blue, and then I got that one too.
There's all. I don't know. Green pumpkin. I think green pumpkin works everywhere.
Oh, 100%. So now, the color that I caught the fish on the other day was that Bawako Wakasagi or whatever the hell color it's called. It was
Wagasagi or something.
Yeah, Bawako Wagasagi. I don't know how you say it, but
yeah,
it was one that I bought from Cross Bait Co. when Danny was doing the lunch break lives months ago. Danny Cross got on there and did a FNGO code, so I got on there and ordered them, and I've had them in the boat forever. And yeah, so yeah, Alex, this is the prickly pear from Hags. This is the one I got. I got the purple and I got the green pumpkin blue. Those are my first official big boy Koike, so we'll see.
I got to go back to Coleman's question. He said be specific, and I'm all the time with people. I tell people when I ask the question, I always tell them be specific.
About
All
what?
right. It's about the one bait, the rod, the reel, all that forever. Okay, rod. If we're talking about the minnow setup, it's going to be a 6'8" X Pride B series. I'm sorry, 6'10". It's a 610 MSB. It's a medium fast X Pride minnow rod. It's a minnow shaking rod, and you cannot beat it. I've not found anything that'll beat it. It'll be 12-pound Berkeley forward braid because the forward braid sinks a little faster. 8-pound Gamma fluorocarbon leader. Whatever size queen tackle tungsten head that I need, just depending on what I'm needing at the time, what my fall rate needs to be, and a 4.5-inch depth Sakamata shad in Wagasaki. That is as detailed as I can be. If I have one minnow set up forever, that's probably it.
Well, there you go. And just so you guys know, those X Pride rods do not float.
They don't float worth a crap.
They sink like a rock.
They sink fast, and by God, but that rod's good enough. When one sinks off the side of the boat, you go buy another one, and they ain't cheap.
Listen,
my wife says the next day.
Yeah, the next day. So the funny thing is, you dropped yours in the water, and it wasn't 2 months later. I dropped my cranking rod in the water. My cranking rod floated a little better than your spinning rod did. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
But I'm hitting my knees grabbing that rod out of the water, and it had that dang lose reel on there. And I thought, out of all the things, if I'm going to lose, the lose reel could fall off. I'd be fine with that because that lose reel, no offense to lose, not dogging on lose, but that one's a piece of crap. But yeah, the rod's like a mojo. I'm like, nope, don't need to lose that one right now for sure. But it floated. I was like, oh, mine floats a little more than, of course, it's got cork in it. Maybe that helps it float some. I don't know. But that doggone, that X Pride, it went quick. That joker's to the bottom.
The X Pride has cork on the handle, like the hand handle, but on the back it has the nanotube thing, which I 100% believe that makes a difference.
Yeah.
It makes a difference in the balance of the rod and the feel of the rod.
Yeah.
Also, for my shaky head rod, like I love a Zodius series. If for a dragon rod, for a dragon underspin, or even a baitcaster rod, for something that sensitivity, you need sensitivity, but you still need some backbone to get a hook into a fish. Man, a Shimano Zodius is hard to beat. I have a 7-foot medium heavy Zodius spinning rod that I messed up, and I put a shaky head on it one time, and shaky head has not come off of it since. You can read the label on a Bud Light can in 25 foot of water. That thing is so sensitive. I'm a big fan of it.
I need to throw that one day because you see why I throw my shaky heads on a bait caster. I'm power fish everything, so I need to go. I hadn't done a shaky head on a spinning reel in probably 2 years.
I used to. Yes, Kevin, that X Pride is the solid tip model. But I used to throw all of my shaky heads on baitcaster until I messed around, and I can go so much lighter with the shaky head now that I can get it in more places, and the sensitivity is just so much better with the light bait that it catches me a lot more fish like that.
I got you. Now, Alex says he caught 3 over 18 largemouth on Amazon knockoffs.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Look, if they'll eat it, I don't care if it costs $1, I'll throw it.
Drop a link in the chat.
Drop a link in the comments, bro. Help some guys out over here.
Yeah, which ones are we buying on Amazon?
Yeah.
Eric froze up on us.
Sorry, my screen went off.
Oh, there you go. Gotcha.
There we go.
You were in a weird picture there. You're half cocked.
Looking all weird. Yeah, no. Yeah, for real. Drop a link in the chat now, buddy. Give us the juice. Man, we want the details.
I've seen everything from TikTok to Temu, all of the different knockoffs. I'm like, they all look similar. I mean, like, I wonder, Wayne Hanna 3109 says, and he will minnow all day. Yeah, we covered that, Wayne. We already know if he gets a minnow bite, it's over. Like if I get a topwater bite, it's over. So
And yeah, look, that's my father-in-law. That's one of my fishing partners now.
Yeah.
Now he knows too. If I get a bite on a minnow, it's over with. I'm going out there and I will minnow it. He actually started fishing pretty seriously this year. We got his boat together. He got it going, and it's been doing great. He went out on Wadowee Saturday and did pretty fair. Caught some fish in some really tough conditions. Man, I'm super proud of him.
That's awesome.
He's come a long way. Because
awesome.
We all know this is not the easiest hobby in the world. But yeah, he started fishing with me about in the dead of winter, and at that time it is a minnow operation. And he's like, that dadgum mooch minnow. He said, every time that mooch minnow. So
there you go.
Because I'm extremely accurate with it. So
yeah, Alex says he's got us on that one. So we'll wait to hear from Alex when he gives us that juice on that one. Randall Perry says at Hartwell they got divers that'll go out there and retrieve all your stuff. Listen, I offered that day. I had my treble hooks. I was like, look, we'll fish around for it, try to catch that rod. He's like, no, it's gone.
Yeah. Man. We were in like 50 or 60 foot of water.
It was deep water. Yeah, we were running. We stopped in the middle of whatever channel we were in, a creek arm. We weren't even near the docks, and when it fell off, so it jumped off the boat for sure. Big Al says take you some cheaper ones, put them on a shaky head. He caught some on chick on the ledges last weekend. So I'm gonna ride out to D&M. I might get out. What time do they close? You know,
I think 6 o'clock during the week.
I got to go out there for a doctor's appointment Wednesday, so I might swing out because I go to the doctor down there in Tallapoosa, so I might slide down there and see what they got in stock. I need to get some more colors for sure, for bigger ones.
Man, I can't say enough good things about that place, man. That's Chris and Mandy are awesome people. It's one of the it's a dying breed. It's the old school, like true small town tackle shop, but they have they have all the current stuff. They keep up with their stuff, and you can buy a Shimano X Pride solid tip right there, and you can buy all your G Loomis. You can buy you a Dobbins rod, Tony.
Hey, listen, I don't hate Dobbins rod. That's Coleman. I've only got one. I haven't had a bad experience yet, so Coleman don't like them.
But yeah, they have a whole bunch of Zoom, a whole bunch of all that kind of stuff, man. That can they definitely have all the good stuff.
And they also carry one of our show sponsors, Big Al Speed Shine. They carry his products as well. So
funny story. Actually, the first bottle of Big Al Speed Shine I ever bought, I bought from there.
Yep,
sure did.
Well, and to follow that up, I introduced them to Big Al at the show that Chuck Thrasher put on in Billerica. They were sitting there and said, you need to talk to this guy. So
yeah,
I'm glad they got.
They were the title sponsor of that show. That was the D&M Outdoor Expo, the March Madness Expo. That's what that was. Look, I ain't got my Big Al's hat on today.
There you go. He is a show sponsor. We appreciate it, Big Al. All he does, and I love the product. So it's definitely. I got to get with him, get me another bottle. I'm just about out of my first bottle I ever bought.
My wife said he has shined her off the side of the boat a couple times.
It'll get you. It'll get you. It will get you. Kevin Silverpump said that he's gotten a couple of AliExpress for like $2 and they're legit. So now that's the question. We're all koi key crazed, whatever you want to call it, but we're starting to see the knockoffs. But like, come on, are they really knockoffs? Because they all come from Japan or China anyway to begin with. So are they really knockoffs at this point, or are they just finally getting to where they're selling for the price they should be?
Supply and demand. The supply is coming up. So
yeah,
and the cost will come down and all. It's basic economics. That's all.
Yeah. Bottom Line Outdoors wants to know Koike versus the minnow.
I don't know. We'll get back to you on that. I'll let you know. It's hard. Look, everything in the lake eats a damn minnow. I don't care what nobody says. Everything in the lake eats a minnow of one form or fashion or another. So literally I've caught every fish, just about every different fish in the lake on a minnow. So
I was gonna say, until I get a big old slab crappie to bite a koiki, I'll believe it when I see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know we go out there and catch some crappie on that damn thing. You know?
yeah,
Like,
yeah, exactly.
Maybe they bite it. I don't know. Maybe they bite it.
Hey,
So we talked about this on Thursday night show, and I said I brought this question, but I'll bring it up here tonight too. When at the height of the minnow craze, right before the koiki took off, I think we were just about minnowed out though. Like, everybody was coming out with a minnow. I mean, you could buy it, every knockoff. You could buy every bait maker's making a minnow. I mean, there's a million different minnows at this point. And that, I think that's kind of why the koiki craze kind of took off the way it did. It was something totally new that kind of spoke to the jig fishermen. It spoke to the shaky head guys. It spoke to the I mean, heck, we talked about doing it on drop shots. We talked about every way you can rig it, about 4,000 different ways you can rig it. So I think it spoke to a lot of people, and they finally got kind of broke away from the minnow craze for a minute, and that's why it's taken off pretty big. So I think it might be that's why the koiki's kind of taken off. So it's not really a koiki versus a minnow. It was just a break from one that we'd gotten inundated with. And it won't be this time next year where we're going, well, there's 4,000 koikis or urchins that you can pick from, which we're already getting there. I mean, everybody that makes baits now is making one. So I think in a year or two, we're going to be koikied out.
I'm waiting to see an ad on the side of a city bus for a damn koiki. I promise you, it's just going that way. But it's just the next big thing. It's just like it is the Yamamoto, the stick bait or whatever. It's stick bait. It's just different iterations of the stick bait all over again. Yeah. You know, like everybody makes a stick bait now. There's 400 million stick baits because it works. And it's the same thing with the koiki. It's just this is the next generation of stick bait. That's all. Minnow, the minnow was the next generation of it, and then as you know how it goes.
I will tell you, and I'm not dogging anybody's baits out. The koiki that I used, it's made from regular plastisol, the one that I used. Now I haven't used the hags yet. On that trigger hook, and it was a decent fish, about a 4-pound fish I caught. And he thrashed around a little bit too, but it rode up the line like it's supposed to. I might have got 15 more casts out of that bait before it split in half, because it's made out of regular. You know what I mean? You're putting it over that eye of that hook, because that's the only way to get on that trigger hook, is to go over the eye. I mean, it tells you in the instructions that's how to do it. So you're already putting a hole in there, and then you got the line riding there. Yeah, that might be the only drawback on some of the baits, is that they're not tough enough to handle it. Now, and this is not a plug, even though I am, do a little work with 4-reel custom baits. I got the ones they made me. I only got one color is my problem. I got one color from them, but theirs are made with the floating rubber or plastisol or whatever it's called. It's a little bit denser, so it can take that. I fished with it the whole rest of the day. I fished with that one on, and it never split. Never. Now it come off the hook a little bit, because it obviously casting it comes off the hook a little bit more, or it comes off the hook over time, but it didn't split through the line. Of course, I didn't catch a fish because it was a super tough day. And I only bought one color in it. I should have bought, I put my order in today for 6 different colors, but, we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. But
now, that's what I will say about the original koiki was tough. I mean, it was tough. It was like leather almost. It was so tough.
I've heard they were. That's what made them different, made them better, is because their appendages. I think Coleman brought it up one of the shows. Their appendages actually made it move more water, and that because they were tougher, they didn't flex as bad, I guess you would say. And like you said, now my buddy talked about the other day. He was talking about when we were rigging with the different baits or different hooks and stuff. He says you've got to be careful. He said, because you're still trying to get it through that tough rubber that the koiki's made of. He said, and he used a pair of pliers to put them through. He's like, I'm not getting hooked with it, so he's using it that way. So let's see here. Alex's are 4 for $11.99. Shipping is a little high because they're from overseas. So still though, $12. Not bad. And then Coleman said, my head just exploded when I heard Dobbins.
I was trying to see if Coleman was still in here while I said Dobbins.
He's still there lurking.
It's like cranking and yanking. If you say Dobbins 3 times, Coleman will appear.
Hey, speaking of cranking and yanking, has anybody heard from him lately? I didn't see him in the show
I
Thursday.
haven't seen him in a while.
I ain't seen him in a while. Make sure I wonder if he's okay. Hopefully everything's all right with cranking yanking over there. Big Al said he hadn't heard.
Sure.
He hadn't heard from D&M in a while, and he likes the hat. So,
yeah.
And dang, Doug Rice, his Dobbins rod snapped like a cheap cracker. Dang.
I've never owned one. I can't speak to anything about it.
I've got the one, but every fish I caught on it, the fish came off because it wasn't the right rod for what I was throwing. But I've got one. It goes for a boat ride every weekend. Put it that way. So, Alex says he's caught some big old catfish on the urchin. And then Coleman, Big Al wants to know if you've used your speed shine. And Coleman answered right behind that. I did, and the boat looks and smells incredible. That's the favorite part of it, man. It looks
part. I swear.
Looks great. It smells so good. Smells so good when you're using it. All right, so Coleman's dropping a little bit of juice for his Friday deal on the 19 pounds. I will say the Koike was on the deck.
Oh, yeah. We know what your screen name used to be, Coleman.
Exactly. Now, Alex says his are TPE, and he's using the new spot choker heads. So
I saw that post. That it's a spot seeker. Or, I can't remember. It's the uncoated head that he said. You know,
yeah, it's like the naked choker. Or something like that. Yeah. I've got to get a few from him. I hadn't got them, but like I said, if I go fishing with him Saturday, if we still work it out Saturday or Sunday, I'll see if I can't get some from him when I go to his shop or whatever. And then Coleman just asking Big Al if he got the bird installed on his boat, because Big Al got the units from Coleman. Coleman got some speed shine. Everybody's happily ever after.
All right, I got a question for all the guys too. I need a new jerkbait rod. What's your favorite jerkbait rod? Put it down in the bottom. Let me know. Give me your absolute favorite jerkbait specific rod.
All right, I'm gonna tell you mine.
All right.
Mine. This is until I find a replacement. I have got the Walmart Falcon HD. It says it's a medium, but it is like a noodle, and you can whip 8-pound line, whip the bait. You don't overpower the bait because the rod gives enough.
Yeah.
But it's still good enough for boat flips, stuff like that. And obviously you got to be careful 8-pound line anyway, but I like it because it's not a true, to me, it's not a true medium. It's got way more whippy action to it. Until I find the Falcon rod or whatever rod I decide to go with in that same flex. That's why I'm not mad at Falcon, but it irritates me because had I not bought that and figured that out, I wouldn't have known that rod did that by buying it on their website. So I don't know if their Falcon, other series, whatever, Karas or the Bukas or whatever, I don't know if they have that same action or not. But that's the action. That's the action I prefer because I am using light line. I'm using obviously a full size jerkbait or whatever. I'm getting it down deep. But man, I just don't lose. I don't lose the fish. All right, we got some answers to that. Bottom line said, oh, hang on. He said he has the hammer rods, Leviathan. Y'all say that? Leviathan, however you say that.
You're not getting my country butt to say that on recorded.
I'll say it. Leviathan. I guess they said Leviathan.
Y'all ain't making fun of me today. Nope.
Coleman says the St. Croix Victory, the jerk 6'8" medium extra fast, insane jerkbait rod. You're welcome to try mine out, Eric. And
I definitely will.
When we go out there to Lanier, have it with you because I'd like to try it myself. I want to because you've talked very highly of your Victory rods. I remember when he saw him at one of the shows we were at. He was there. Oh, it was the GON show. He was like, "Man, they got the St. Croix Victories on sale," and he was over there buying them like crazy. So, Alex says the Cashin Icon jerkbait is a good one. Alex likes his Douglas rod too, but I really miss that Icon. There you go. So, the Cashins or the Victories, one of those two may be a good rod to go with.
Got a couple options to try out. I'll give it a shot.
Yeah. Oh man, Big Al has not put the units on. Still waiting on insurance to let me know what they're going to do about my 13K lower unit and prop claim.
I saw that, man. Ugh.
I guess
Golly.
I hadn't talked to Alan. I hadn't heard about that one.
Yeah, I saw this post where he smoked something in the river and destroyed a lower unit. I forgot all about that. My condolences, sir. That's terrible. It's awful.
Oh, jeez, man. That's why I tell all these guys, like, oh, you got to go way up the river, Tony. I'm like, I don't have lower unit money. I don't, and mine wouldn't be 13,000, but I ain't got lower unit money.
I got insurance. It'd be all right.
Yeah, man, I got insurance, but dang, I was out of a boat. I couldn't pull my boat for 2 weeks because my truck was down. I can't imagine my boat being down. I'd be
sad. No, I'll go buy one and then wait for insurance to pay it out. That's what I do. I'm not sitting. I'm not going to sit there.
Yeah. Listen, when I bought the boat, it was the first bass boat I've ever owned. My wife, whatever. I'm the king of having way too many hobbies and not keeping them, like doing stupid whatever. Get bored with it. After about the first year and a half, 2 years with a boat, she was like, "Yeah, you're definitely a boat guy. You're definitely and I told her if something happens to that motor, there will be a motor the next day or in the next week. I'll have it on order somewhere." So, yeah, we're there.
Started laughing because as soon as you said that, my wife's sitting over here on the other side of the room, and she just raised up and looks at me because I was the biggest hobby jumper. Like I would fly radio control airplanes or I would race slot cars or I would golf or I would insert hobby here. I did everything except for, frickin' downhill bobsledding, I think. I'd do just about it. And it's only because we live in the South. But I did a lot of different things, and I would spend about 6 months doing it, and I'd go something else, and I'd go something else. And, every time you get into a hobby and you sell all the stuff, you end up losing your butt on everything that you had. Well, now my buddy got me started on tournament fishing, but who really turned me into the just fishing all the time is one day Jessica looked at me and she goes, "Just pick one thing and just do that. Just pick one thing and stick with it. What do you like the best of all the stuff you've done?" I was like, I think fishing. I like fishing the best. She said, "Okay, go do that."
Yeah.
I was like, "All right, bet." So that's what I did. And I started fishing and I did not look back. And it's still great. I still love it to this day. Right. It's my favorite thing to do.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's whatever. I always say it's the one hobby you can't master. You can get good at it, but tomorrow you may get skunked, and the next day, then you're like, "No, I got to go back and try this again." I mean,
we need the participation of a wild animal with a brain the size of a sweet pea. I don't see what could possibly go wrong.
Yeah, and then John, I'm skipping some comments here. He's like, "I'll gladly go hobby for hobby with you, sir." And listen, this is not a competition. They're not a competition.
That man works for Georgia Power. I ain't messing. We're not doing that.
Listen, until you've taught yourself to play the banjo in Iraq, I win.
He's right there with you.
Yeah, I'm just that's the kind of stupid crap I do though. I'm like, you know what? I think I'm gonna learn how to play the banjo. Mail me a banjo, so I play. I mean, come on, like it's just. And then I lose interest in it 6 weeks later, and it's like, well, there goes that money, like you just said.
John's he's a veteran too, so he's right up your alley. He's a sapper and the whole deal. Yeah,
he knows exactly what
he knows exactly what you're talking about. Yep, 100%.
We're on the same playing field. Then I totally get it. It's just bored. Yeah. So I'm great with it. Al said he thinks he's gonna go 4-stroke it though. If they pay out the claim, he's gonna think about 4-stroke, and that's where I'm at with it too, man. That's where I'm at with it too.
It is hard to pick just one hobby. I'll go with Ray on that. It is hard to pick just one thing. Ray, but I am glad I did it. I did it though, because I got one thing that at least I can suck consistently at it, and it's great.
Yeah, I mean I don't know. I'm still. It's there's so much crap I want to do before I leave this world. I'm like, I want to try this. I want to try that. And I'm glad that I've gotten older. My knees hurt more because there's a lot less things that I'm going to pick from now, because I'm not. I used to want to go jump out of planes and stuff like that. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good now. I don't need it.
We were eating dinner at my in-laws on Friday night, and they were talking about skydiving and this and that. I'm like, there's some stuff big guys don't do. Skydiving, miss me with that. I'm not dimensionally set up to jump out of an airplane. Same
Well,
with bungee jumping. Y'all ain't gonna catch me being like the girl they forgot to hook the rope to in South America somewhere.
I'm not laughing at that poor lady. I'm not.
Nope.
But that's
I'm not doing that.
one of the things. Yeah, definitely not happening. But now, when I was younger, in my 20s, my goal, I was going to re-enlist to get my staff sergeant. I was going to get my jump wings. I even had myself convinced I was going to try to get my scuba bubble and do all that. Like, I was going to be a scuba. What the hell? No, I'm not going to scuba diving. I don't want to do that crap. But I had convinced myself I was going to get all these different things. Like, that's what I was going to do. I've got a couple in the pipeline right now that I'm thinking about doing, but nothing to the extent of that. Right
out with it, Tony. We're all family here.
Nope,
Come on.
Nope, not doing it. Not doing it.
Come on. Look, speak it into existence. Make it real.
One of them, I got to get my drone license. I want to get my drone license. That's one thing I want to do. So stuff like that. That's all part of the social media too, though. So that and it ties in with the fishing. See, but there again, it's another hobby that I bought and I've used it like 3 times. I mean, I love it. It's great, but it's like I get on the boat and I want to go fish. Like I don't want to put a drone up there and fly around. I want to go fishing. I just want to do that. So there's a couple of good questions in here or comments. Alex talking about cashings are 100% made in America, blanks and all. So that's really cool too about cashing. I do like that part. My only concern with cashing is the grips. I don't know how much I like the grips themselves because I'm a cork handle guy. I love cork. I hate the foam. I don't hate it, but it's just sweating in the summertime. That foam after a while gets on my nerves. But yeah, the cashing rods I've always heard good things about. Bottom Line Outdoors had a great question though. Summertime's here. What are you doing to keep fish alive? I'll let you answer that first.
All right, me. Same thing every time. Every morning before we fish a tournament, I buy 2 extra bags of ice. I put a bag in each live well on the way to the lake. I close my valves off, and as soon as I dump the boat in the water, I fill the live well half full of water because I don't want the fish to shock when I put them in it because you don't want to just put them in straight ice. Right. You want to get about half a live well full of water and stuff like that. Then when I catch my first fish, I'll go ahead and I'll start the pumps while I'm weighing the fish, getting them unhooked, getting them weighed and all that stuff, and then put them in there. Once you've got a full live well with some ice in it, they'll be fine with that. And then I'm still using G-Juice, but as soon as I run out of the G-Juice, Tony has made me a believer in the Fish Nerd Labs, after listening to that guy talk and about all of the way, all the research and stuff that he put into it, I'll definitely be going to Fish Nerd after I run out of this bottle of G-Juice I'm on.
Yeah, I'm in an older boat. I've got pumps and aerators, don't get me wrong. And obviously maybe some of those older boats may have been insulated better than some stuff. I don't know, but I run my aerator on full blast the whole day. Just let it, I put it on minimum. It cuts on way more than it probably should, I guess. But I'll run ice. Obviously summertime I'll add ice. I think the August tournament was mandatory to have ice.
Required, yeah.
It's required. But 100% what you said about Fish Nerd Labs, that stuff, I have never had fish jump. I mean, we've all had fish jump out of live wells, right? But them dang things sitting there for the day, and they're stupid at the end of the day in an old boat live well. Like it's not a big, you know what I'm saying? It's not like your live wells. It don't have that same pressure or whatever. It works good, but them jokers will fly out of the dang live well when you open the lid with that stuff. I'm a firm believer in. And it's actually, we're getting into the hot months with it. I've used it since he sent it to me last year, but I didn't fish any tournaments last year. But it's specifically made for summertime fishing. That's what it's for. It's got a cooling property that's built into that stuff that helps cool the fish down too. So, obviously a lot more people are using it, and he's had some really good success with it in bait tanks and big, striper tournaments and bass guys using it. I can't wait to see how it works in a summertime tournament, even though I don't fish as much in the summertime like I used to, tournament wise, but I'm guilty. I'm the guy on social media that I'll put 5 in the box and ride them around the lake, take pictures of it at the end of the day. I mean, I'm guilty of it. But if they start looking funny, I dump them. If they start looking funny, or start acting, I'll dump them out and call it a day. I won't keep them there for the whole day just to say I get a picture. But I do it sometimes. I
cannot. Y'all watch this enough. Y'all know I'm a big supporter of the nitro boat. It ain't no secret that I love my nitro, and it's not just like, you get people that trying to talk themselves into justifying their cheaper boat or whatever. BS on all of that. I have not lost a fish yet in those live wells. I have not had one fish die in those live wells, and I've fished 15, 16 tournaments out of the boat in the last year at least. And I've had 5, just about every time, every time at least I've had 5 fish. And hell, a lot of times the big fish is caught in the first 30 minutes of the day. And 2 weeks ago on Logan Martin, it was 90 degrees. It was miserable. I mean, it was just hot, sun beating down, beaming all day. And my fish come out of the live well like they were lively, they were healthy. They went straight down when I put them back in the water. I also use a mesh lined weigh bag too. I do think that's a big deal. Being able to take them out of it and keep the water in the bag and having the water back in when taking them away from the scales and all that. But that's just my personal preference.
And something else that guys talk about that I've had people comment in videos before, when you're going to the weigh-in, how many of us are guilty of taking a bag full of water and then setting it on the asphalt when we wait for the weigh-in? You're heating that bag, instantly heating that water up. So something to think about on weigh-in.
I'll put them on top of my feet.
Yeah. Generally. If you don't have a weight, tanks or whatever, you just consider not sticking them on the concrete or asphalt, or wait until the line goes down or whatever. I don't know. I did try the frozen bottles of water at one time, just to put them in. I put one frozen Gatorade bottle in there and let it, like you said, let it melt in the water and have that water cooler, but not ice cold. I've done that before. Of course, that gets cumbersome when you're taking 24 frozen Gatorade bottles to the lake with you every weekend, and you're having to refreeze them when you get home. But yeah, so Big Al says also, guys, the leash is a great thing to have on your motor. Just saying. So for y'all that don't
100%.
believe in the leash or whatever, I don't have one yet. Need to get one. And then John Ray going back talking about, he said, I love this until I don't. Talking about the hobbies. He's 100% right. Bottom line says, learn how to make jigs in the middle of Iraq. Been there. I didn't make jigs in Iraq, but it's definitely on the. We made a poker table in Iraq. Played poker. I learned how to play poker well before Iraq, but then I mastered it a little more in Iraq. But yeah, we've all got them for sure. Alex says the Cash and Element series has cork handles, and it's a little easier on the pockets for sure. I like it. Coleman, good advice here. Keep the live wells clean. Rubbing alcohol, spray them down, scrub them, flush them, using additive and ice. Clean those mesh filters. 100%
Also
right.
You run vinegar too, vinegar and water through them, rotate that, run it in your recirculator and all that. Definitely makes a big deal.
I can't remember if I asked him about how to clean live wells, what he used. I don't remember what we talked about on that show when we had him on here. But anyway, I've used Simple Green before in the past. Now, I'm not spraying it slap full or nothing like that, but I've used it and flushed it out and done really well with that. Now, take it for what it's worth. I'm not an expert when it comes to that. So, but yeah, definitely keeping the live wells clean and operating properly, because I think that's why one of my live well pumps went out. I didn't clean it well enough, and I think I got something in there, and it burned the motor up on me in the middle of a tournament where I lost 3 fish because of it. So, Alex said he had a fish die on him yesterday, caught it 16 foot, but he couldn't go back down. First time it happened to me. I'm wondering if I learned to fizz, can I release them right back, or do you need a box? You
can release them back after you fizz them for sure.
So I have fizzed multiple times. You can fizz them on the side. You can sit them in the side of the water if you can keep them still enough and fizz them right there. Just want to get the bubbles out. They'll go back down. You don't have to have a box. You can fizz them. I've seen guys fizz them at boat ramps, literally on the edge of the boat ramp, in the edge of the water, fizz them and put them right back in, and they're good to go. You don't have to have it. And then if you guys don't know how to fizz, I recommend learning. It saved me in a tournament before, a nighttime tournament. We ended up fizzing three out of the 5, I think. Hell, the only fish we lost that day was the dink spot that I caught first thing that evening, and he just decided he didn't want to be with us no more. He went to be on somebody's supper table for sure. Vinegar is great too. Will also kill the smells. So good deal. Guys, we've hit the 2-hour mark. That's the last comment of the show. Man, it's been a great show. I didn't know if we was going to make I told Christy, I was like, I don't know if we'll make 2 hours tonight, but we're going to try. I didn't know what all we talk about. It was a great show. I enjoyed every minute of it. And guys, I appreciate y'all hanging out.
It's easy talking to you for 2 hours, buddy. We have a good time, man, for sure.
I just, I kind of went into it going, we're just going to BS about fishing. Whatever comes up, we'll talk about it. So it worked out great, and a great show. Guys, I appreciate y'all hanging in there in the comments and keeping us going. Y'all don't know how much we depend on the comments. Sometimes we're like, man, I wish more people would talk. It's kind of a give and take. We had Tom Mann on the other night. And it was like we couldn't get comments because Tom was telling great stories, but I enjoy the comments a lot and talking to you guys. So we're gonna call it right there. Eric, I appreciate you hanging out, man. It was awesome.
Man, absolutely. I'll come do it anytime, buddy. I have a good time with it for sure.
Absolutely.
Guys,
Absolutely.
I appreciate all y'all too. Coleman, I'll see you in August. If not before, I might slide over there and do a little poking around with you before that. Man, we'll see you guys soon.
I just need Coleman to take me with him too, so I can get some of the spots. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that to you. I wouldn't do that to y'all at all. I'll see y'all guys. Y'all have a good week. Make sure you check out tomorrow night's show. We got Wednesday night with Alex. Thursday night, it's going to be our live well, but it's kind of the BS live well. We're going to all get together and just chat like we do now. We're going to have all the crew on there, so y'all come hang out with us. We'll see y'all next time. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. See you, buddy.